I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was. I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean,
When Bella Ramsey was cast as Ellie in HBO's The Last of Us, many fans were skeptical, but even more were hopeful, willing to give her a chance to see how she could bring to life one of the most beloved characters in video game history. Season 1 came and went, and while there were mixed reactions, most people gave her a pass. But by the time Season 2 rolled around, things had changed. Bella's attitude changed, the tone changed, the performance changed, and according to fans, not for the better. Now, after months of silence, growing controversy, and a reputation in freefall, rumors are swirling that Bella Ramsey is doing something nobody saw coming. She's begging HBO to give her another shot at Season 3. That's right.
I had to not like each other for a bit.
You had to not like me, which came easy.
After her portrayal was blamed by many for the franchise's sudden collapse, Bella is reportedly trying to get back into the very show she helped sink. And once again, Joe Rogan is having none of it. On a recent episode of his podcast, Rogan dove into the reports and absolutely roasted the situation. It's wild, he said. You spend months brushing off fans, acting like you're above criticism, and now you want back in? That's not growth, that's panic. Joe made it clear that this wasn't about talent. It was about respect, responsibility, and timing.
Like most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much in, the 2 years it took between seasons. So in the show, Ellie still looks exactly the same, but is supposed to be 5 years older. Also, Ellie still acts exactly the same. For some reason, they made the decision for The Last of Us Season 2 to make Ellie dumb, to the point where she even says that she's stupid. Why?
And Bella, in his view, had failed on all three. Joe wasn't alone in this. The internet reacted just as quickly. Fans who once supported Bella started questioning her motives. She didn't want to listen when people were trying to help her improve, one post read. Now she wants to be Ellie again because she realizes no one else is offering roles. That sentiment echoed across comment sections, forums, and social media threads. People weren't just skeptical, they were done.
Up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them. They're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
Rogan pointed out that when the backlash began during Season 2, Bella had a golden opportunity. She could have taken responsibility, acknowledged the concerns, and shown fans she cared. Instead, she chose silence. She disappeared from the conversation. Interviews stopped, posts were deleted, engagement ended. Rogan described it as one of the most tone-deaf retreats he'd ever seen. Then once the show was pulled from HBO's future lineup and talk of Season 3 went dark, Bella tried to pivot to other studios, other franchises, even reportedly Marvel, but nothing stuck.
Show is finally speaking out about its failure. The Last of Us creator Craig Mazin admits Season 2 was a finale, drew over 50% less than the finale of Season 1. You lost.
The industry had already taken note. Casting directors don't just look at performance, they look at how an actor carries themselves when things go south, and Bella, by all accounts, didn't carry it well. Now that there's speculation of HBO potentially reviving The Last of Us with a soft reboot or alternate casting for a follow-up season, Bella is allegedly making calls, trying to reconnect with producers, sending messages through her management, and pushing for meetings to discuss future opportunities. But according to Rogan, that ship has sailed. It's hard to rebuild a bridge you helped burn down, he said. And it's even harder when you're the one who lit the match and walked away. What's more telling is how quiet HBO remains. They haven't commented publicly, haven't acknowledged the rumors, and haven't confirmed or denied any involvement with Bella moving forward. Insiders say there's hesitation at the top, not because of her ability, but because of the brand damage. They don't want Season 3 to be remembered as the one where they caved, one source said. They want it to be the one that saved the series. And that's the real story here. The Last of Us isn't just a show, it's a franchise. It's a legacy. It's a piece of modern pop culture with a fan base that expects emotional depth, strong storytelling, and characters they can believe in. Bringing back an actress whose performance was criticized as flat, disconnected, and emotionally cold doesn't send a message of redemption, it sends a message of desperation. Rogan expanded on this, pointing out that in the world of television, second chances aren't handed out just because someone asks for them. You've got to earn it, he said, and if your first instinct after a fall is to chase the same role without owning the failure, then you haven't learned anything. And that's what fans are noticing. There's been no statement from Bella acknowledging the fallout, no comment on what she would do differently, no sign of reflection, just an effort to jump back in and pick up where she left off, as if none of the drama ever happened. Rogan compared it to an athlete who drops the ball in the championship game and then shows up next season like nothing went wrong. What's worse is that Bella's attempts to return don't appear to be fueled by a renewed passion for the character or the story. According to sources, it's being driven by a lack of other offers. Her momentum after The Last of Us completely stalled. Projects fell through. Potential collaborations went quiet. And now, the role she once tried to distance herself from is the only one she's trying to hold on to. Fans who were once in her corner have taken notice. On Reddit, longtime supporters have started to turn. One post titled, "Bella wants back in, but should she?" gained thousands of upvotes, with most of the responses saying no. Commenters listed the interviews where she dismissed fan concerns, the social media retreat, the failed attempt to pivot into another franchise. It's not just about the role, one fan wrote, it's about trust, and that's gone. Rogan closed his segment with a warning not just for Bella, but for any actor stepping into a legacy role. You don't get to skip the consequences just because you want a do-over. If you didn't respect the opportunity the first time, you don't deserve the second. He pointed out how other actors have handled criticism with grace. They owned their missteps, engaged with fans, stayed present, and grew from the experience. But Bella, according to Rogan, took the opposite route. She went silent, then bitter, then desperate. That's not a comeback arc. That's a spiral. Now the spotlight is on HBO. Do they entertain Bella's pitch and risk alienating fans even further? Or do they move forward with a new face and a clean slate? If the fan response is anything to go by, the answer seems clear. Audiences want progress. They want someone who can bring Ellie's complexity to life with respect, depth, and authenticity. Not someone asking for a second shot because the first one didn't turn out the way they hoped. At the end of the day, Rogan's take is harsh but grounded in reality. You're not owed a franchise, he said. You're given a shot. What you do with it defines your career. And if you blow it, don't come back knocking like nothing happened. Own it. Learn from it. And maybe you'll be ready for something new. But right now, trying to get back into The Last of Us just proves you haven't moved on, and neither have the fans.